Welcome to Mindfulness Manufacturing. My name is Trevor Blondeel. Spending 25 years in manufacturing, I discovered the real impact we have on turnover, communication, and the ability to manage change is how we show up. That's the essence of emotional intelligence. In each episode, we bring a guest or message to expand your skills, engage your people, and grow your organization. So let's jump in. Working in manufacturing, we have no problem finding enough goals and tasks. We're focused on getting more product out. We want to do it safely. We want great productivity. And we're usually focused on the day, maybe the week's results, maybe the months, but it's pretty tight. And there's some trends going on in this whole area of vision. You know, you have vision, mission, goals. But the whole vision part is that higher level idea of where are we going? And that's something we're not always talking about because we're in the now. We are present in manufacturing often. And how we link that vision is important, even important now with our generations and times changing. And as we do in this show, I like to find experts that know a lot more than me on the topic. And I met a friend, Simon Vetter. Welcome to the show, Simon.
Great to be here, Trevor. Thanks for having me.
I liked your handle there, Vision Architect, as well as an executive coach and author and speaker, because I've seen you speak. And I've also read your book that's been co-authored by Bonnie Hagman and John Makita, Leading with Vision. Great cover and some great content in there. And thanks for coming on the show, man.
My pleasure.
So this is even more important. So we talked a little bit about, the changing generations, and we have this in the book now. We talk a lot about engagement, how vision ties to that. But like, how did this come about for you? Like you've just gone deep into this whole area of vision. You've worked with a lot of manufacturing plants. Why is this so important to you, Simon?
So a few years ago, we had a conversation with my two co-authors, and it's based on some research we have done, executive development survey that looks at 5,000 companies and looking at what are the most important leadership competencies of next generation leaders. And we have done this for every 2 years. And for many years, it's been critical thinking, strategic thinking, creative thinking, problem solving thinking. And in the mid 2015, around that time frame, the new most important competency is leading with vision and engaging the workforce on an emotional level. And so we look at this topic and say, okay, good. How do we do that? Who is doing it well? And that's the reason we wrote the book. And especially the younger workforce, the people in their 20s and 30s, yes, they want to make money. And also they want to have meaning at work. They want to work for a company that they can identify, they see purpose, and they know the question, where are we going? And so this whole concept of vision is, as a leader, how do we help our team, our people understand where are we going? And I like to do a quick exercise. I like to take you on a journey here.
All right.
Are you ready?
Journey. I'm ready.
So I've been living in San Diego for over 20 years now, and I'm going to take you on a beach walk on my favorite beach called Pacific Beach. So imagine it's a beautiful sunny day, 85-degree, and we're stepping on the sand. Take off your shoes, you step on the sand, and we're walking towards the water. And you're feeling the sand between your toes. As we are walking along the beach, you can hear the soothing waves of the ocean. And the sun is kind of warming up your face. You even feel a little bit the taste of the sunscreen. And as you look into the blue sky, you see 24 pelicans flying in V shape over the water. And as you're walking on the sand, you look back and you see your footprints in the sand, and you're just feeling alive and energized, and enjoying this environment. So I just took you on a journey.
I like
Could
that
you be
journey. I'd like to be
so
there.
now I created a picture for you.
Yeah.
Were you there with me when
Yeah.
I described it?
Yeah. I'm feeling that. I'm not feeling sunshine right now, but when you were talking, I was starting to feel it, and it makes me want to go towards that.
Yeah. Could you kind of experience this scene being on the beach?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
Okay.
could.
Yeah. So I created a mental picture in your mind's eye. So I created a vision for you. Now, I could also say, hey, Trevor, let's go on my favorite beach walk. We're going to meet by Crystal Pier, right end of Garnett. And then we walk 2.7 miles towards Mission Beach. And then at the end of the beach, we walk back the same 2.7 miles. So it's going to be a total of 5.4 miles,
Mm.
zero elevation, and temperature of 85 degree. So
A lot of data.
a lot of data.
Manufacturers like data.
Yes. Which one is more inspiring?
Oh yeah, I like the sunshine on my face.
Of course.
I like the sand between my toes.
So the first one is a picture, is a vision, is an
Yeah.
image. And I want to help it see you in your mind's eye so you can be there. And it's also, I'm addressing the senses
Mm.
hearing, seeing, feeling the sand in your toes. So
Mm.
it's it makes people a sense of engagement. The second part is data. It's important, but it's not motivating.
No. Let's hit our
So,
numbers. Let's everybody try harder.
right. So here's you get the concept. What's more motivating is the picture.
Yeah.
Now, how do we translate that into a manufacturing environment? I'm going to use the same approach and give you two different types of leaders. So, leader number one addresses the team and says, hey, team, here is what we're going to do this upcoming year.
Mm-hmm.
Our production target is 3 million units. We're going to run factories 24/7 with 3 shifts every day. We have 3 major initiatives. Number one, we're going to improve our factory productivity measured by OEE from 88% to 93%. The second one, we're going to have on-time delivery to our clients of 95%. And our safety record is outstanding with 0 incidences. We're going to track all our data and KPIs every day. And every week, we're going to review it in our ops meeting to fine tune and improve. So let's make sure we stay focused and
Mm-hmm.
execute with consistency and accountability.
Sounds
Okay?
logical.
Very logical. Makes sense. At the end,
Yeah.
we got to deliver the results.
Yeah.
Now, let me give you leader number 2. And then we'll kind of look in what is the more effective approach. Leader number 2 addresses the team. Team, picture this. 1 year from today, we're going to walk through our factory. The floors are shining. You can hear the machines running smoothly with humming efficiency. Everything looks clean and organized. The temperature is kind of comforting, and there is a freshness in the air. And then when we walk around, there are digital screens with green bars across the board showing quality, scrap is low, schedules are on track. Then you can see the operators on the floor. They're working focused and engaged. And when they work together, you can see people nodding and even some smiles and laughter. So
I
there
like
is a
laughter.
sense of collective pride in the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when there is an issue, like a malfunctioning machine, the people can stop it, and then people huddle together, discussing it in a collaborative, solution focused manner, and they come up with a solution. they fix it, and they also make sure that they take measures to prevent those issues in the future. So at the end of the year, the senior leadership team comes to our plant and they hand out an award to the whole team for exceeding the performance. So looking back, everybody on the floor, including managers and us, they are grateful to be part of this smooth, cohesive, well-running operations. So let's make it happen. All right. I gave you two different versions. Which one is more inspiring?
Yeah, and for the listeners driving in right now, they're going to be used to the first one because I think that the strong manufacturing plants have clear data on where they're going. Not all of them. Some of them don't even have clear production targets today, and that's not an exaggeration. But yeah, the whole like, what's it like to work here? Like, what's different? Because right now, I get the Sunday scaries, and a leader had said to me, right, a gauge of how your workplace is going is like, how do you feel on a Sunday night? All right, like, how do you feel going into that? Like, what are you looking forward to, or what are you dreading? And if it's all just on numbers, yet Sunday night is not based on numbers; it's based on emotions.
Right.
How do we feel that night going into work? What type of a
How
vision or
excited
attitude we're bringing?
are
Yeah,
we
how
to
excited?
go in Monday morning? Now, here's the two versions. Version 2 is more inspiring because it addresses emotions. It focuses on motivation, commitment, and engagement, which is what gets people to want to come to work. Now, the second question is, which version is more effective? That really depends on results. Now, the first version is important because we need data, we need goals to deliver. A factory at the end, you got to deliver widgets, you got to deliver
Yes, you do.
output, and you got to have high quality, you got to be on schedule, and you got to meet budget. Now, here's an important piece. There are a lot of effective managers. They deliver results. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, they meet the expectations in terms of performance. Yet they are burning out their teams. People either silently quit, or they're disengaged, or there's a high turnover because they're burned out.
Yeah.
But the manager is effective because he delivers.
Yeah.
Now, the other version is they're inspiring leaders. They create a motivating, fun, good environment, but they're not meeting performance.
Good point, Simon. Yeah, because we definitely have some leaders that are liked, that their people
They're
enjoy working
collaborative,
with
they're
them.
listening to
Yep.
people, they're forgiving when someone makes a mistake, but at the end of the day in the week, they're not meeting the performance standards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's called
Now,
just being nice. And but being nice and feeling good without the results, that's just as bad as getting burnout and getting the results, right?
right. Now, when you are in a factory environment, which of the leaders will stay longer? The one that delivers results. Sometimes they even the ones who deliver great results, they're getting promoted
Yeah.
because they're delivering results.
Yeah.
Yet there's a way of not bringing people along. So the most effective leader is the one that uses vision to create motivation and commitment, and uses data and goals to deliver performance. So
That's a great answer, because the question I get often, Simon, is, Trevor, help me understand. This person's a jerk and they wear their people out, and they get results through that autocratic style of leadership, but they're just not nice people, but they get promoted, and they keep going through the organization, and then they're driving more of that demand of, what did we make yesterday, and if we didn't make our numbers last week, then what changes are we making?
managers deliver results. Leaders create an environment people want to be part of. So we want to be a great manager that is successful and delivers. And we want to be an inspiring leader that brings people along, that people say, you know, this is a fun team. I want to be part of that. We have clear values. We have standards of behaviors. It's clear what's accepted, what's not accepted. And so it takes both. It takes both. It takes results and it takes strong culture. And that is really where vision comes in.
So do you see many leaders that do both well, Simon?
A few. Now, when we wrote the book, Leading with Vision, we looked at companies who have a compelling vision and engage people. And we had a hard time finding those companies. Because many organizations, they are data-driven, they are goal-oriented. And oftentimes when I coach executives, they're leading with goals. And they confuse goals with vision.
Yeah.
They say, okay, we need to have 25% margins by 2030. That's our vision. It's not a vision, it's a goal. Who is interested in that? The people who own the company. Because so what's in it for the people on the floor?
Yeah.
How do we create an environment where people say, you know what? I want to come work here. I look forward Monday morning because the environment and factories, sometimes it's very data driven. And the best way to create an engaging workforce is creating a culture, an environment where people have a saying, they're listened to, they're valued. At the same time, you have a clear path what needs to be done. So it's not an either or, it's an and approach.
So you really want your senior leader to be sharing that vision with data and emotion. So it's not an either or, it's an and. So we need both. And not making all the decisions either. Because if we've made the goals clear, the expectations clear, and the vision, people are engaged, it ultimately should be less work for the leaders at the top, right? Because if they're functioning properly, because that's what I'm seeing a lot, Simon, is that if we're not doing it properly at the top, like if we can't all, like if there's 10 managers and we can't all say what that vision is together, then it's not going to cascade through the plant and become part of a culture.
So there's an interesting research done. Thousands of people got researched about vision. And interestingly, 27% of the respondents expected their peers to have clarity of vision. When it came to the workforce, they demanded 72% of their direct manager to have a clear vision and 88% from their senior leaders. So people they want a clear answer is where we're going. What's the vision for our organization from the senior leaders? Yet only 3% of the executives spend enough time on clarifying, setting, and articulating the vision. So there's a huge gap between what people want on the floor and how much time executives spend on it.
Yeah, if you actually did a time log, right? Like how much time in a day am I spending helping people get connected to what that is versus I'm not getting the results, so I'm going to make some changes. Right? I'm going to shake things up. But sometimes are we jumping in and making changes and shaking things up because we want to get results because we haven't been clear on what that vision is because we haven't taken the time to do it?
Yeah. Now imagine that vision I painted. You walk through the factory floor, everything is clean and organized, and all the screens, the bars are green. You are an executive and you're able to articulate that to everybody on your team. They understand it. They see where we want to go. They see the aspiration of the future ideal state. they believe in it. They
Mm-hmm.
believe, yes, that's where we want to go. And they're inspired to do what it takes. How much easier is it for that executive to lead this organization?
Yes. I'm not so stressed out.
So
Because,
here's 3 questions as a leader to ask
okay.
about vision. Is it clear? Can your people see it? Do they understand it? Can they describe where we're going in their words?
Mm,
Number one. Number two, is it credible? Do they believe in that future, in that aspiring, desired state of this ideal factory? If they believe in it, then it makes the third question easier. Are they inspired? Are they compelled to do what it takes?
mm,
Imagine you as the leader, you're able to present that to your team, and your people answer those 3 questions with yes, yes, and yes.
mm. That sounds awesome. And that sounds is what we need. So that's something to put in the show notes, something our listeners can try now. That'll be in the show notes. Um,
So
so
here's
it's
one more important element to that.
okay.
And I learned that when I did research around this concept of visioning. When people are clear, they believe in it, they're compelled to do,
Mm-hmm.
there is a change for commitment. People are
Mm-hmm.
committed to change because they want to change, compared to change for compliance. We have to change. We have to make changes because initiative, the company said, the manager said. And the second one is not sustainable.
Yeah.
If people are committed to change, it drives lasting improvement. And so vision is the driver for positive lasting change. It's not goals. If goals would be a driver for change, everybody would be slim, going to the gym and eating well.
Yeah, we all know the goals of the gym, but how many of us are actually executing on that? We have the knowledge, and I'm thinking about, I think about like people when they don't meet expectations, right? And then all of a sudden we start talking about progressive discipline, and my book is kind of leaning away from that and talking more about results come from deeper conversations, not telling people what to do, which is supported by your research, right? If people have that vision, then they are engaged. I like to ask a question, like if someone's, especially if it's a higher level leader and they're not
Yeah,
executing, right? If they're
yeah.
not executing, then how can we change our questions around tying it to the vision, right? So then I know what the vision is. Simon, you know what the vision is, but you're not executing on the vision. So maybe we need to kind of peel it back. Like, so if you're not doing this, maybe it's not important to you. And I need to understand how you're thinking. And maybe we're not as connected on the vision. Like I'm just trying to think of how do we have like that instead of just, hey, you're not meeting the goal and you're not doing X, Y, and Z, and I need you to do it. As opposed to like, hey, how do you think about this? Like, what
That's
tell
a good
me,
point.
tell me what you're thinking because you decided not to do this and you did that. Uh, I, I don't see how that ties into the vision, but maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe you can explain it to me.
So let's say performance is average or below average. Then as a leader, say, hey, we are below average.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where we want to go. 1 year from now, this is going to be the ideal desired outcome. And help people understand this is where we're going. Not negotiable.
Yes, not negotiable. That is
Now,
okay.
here is a key. Can you see where we're going to be?
Mm,
And are you committed to move towards that? And
mm.
your commitment is not only by nodding, it's how you act on the floor. Do
Yeah.
you do what it takes? And commitment is not only shown by yes, it's do they prepare? Do they learn? Are they open to engage? Or are they
Hmm.
stuck in their own way? Are they stubborn? And what happens when the leader presents that picture?
Yeah.
I assume most people say yes, especially the high performing people. They say, great, I want to be part of that. I want to support that.
Hmm.
There will be some people who create resistance. But if you continue to promote and articulate vision and say, this is where we're going, are you part of it? Do you want to be part of that? And if people not supporting that, then you have one-on-one conversation says, hey, I see you're not engaging, you're not listening, you're not taking focused action. Do you really want to be part of this organization? If yes,
Hmm.
we ask you to adopt and change and move along. And if not, we'll find a place for you where you are continue to be comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what happens, and I have worked with some companies, they do major transitions. Some people, they choose not to go with it, and that's okay.
That is okay.
And that is okay. And say, hey,
Yeah.
no issue. I like
Yeah.
you. You're a
Yeah.
good person.
Hmm.
It looks like we are not a good fit here.
Yeah.
And you help them move into an environment where it's a better fit for them. And you keep respecting their dignity.
Respecting the dignity because you're having the conversation about how they're thinking, right? So it
Yeah.
isn't. I like this, Simon. You and I could work together. This is being mindful in manufacturing, right? It's just thinking about it a little bit differently and giving those people that opportunity to make choices because there are some areas of the vision that's not negotiable, right? Like if we're going to make sure that everyone's clear on expectations, but you don't really think people need that, well then maybe that's not a good fit for you.
Right.
I like this quote in the book here. We found that leaders are more likely to lead with numbers and vision, and then a little bit later you say, but here's the issue: people drive the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great connection.
At the end, we got to deliver the numbers.
Yeah.
We got to deliver. And so that's, we got to deliver because clients expect from us quality and the margins and all that and the schedule. So yeah, but again, how do we create that environment? And I think that's where we need to go back and use pictures to help people see
Mhm.
it. And I use this exercise. I look at all the different parts of the organization, employee engagement, and then output and performance and scrap. And then you can look at 1 to 10, how well are we doing in that?
Yeah.
And then imagine in all those different KPIs, everything is a 10. What would that look like?
Hmm.
What would be the picture that you see if everything is ideal? And that becomes the aspiration.
And
And
you're
that's the,
asking the question, not telling them what it's going to look
yeah.
like.
And you develop that ideal picture with your team, with your managers, with the people on the floor related to their work environment. It's okay, good. Imagine everything is running absolutely perfect. And we can describe that and articulate that. Then you have something to strive towards.
And if you can't articulate that, maybe that's another problem, of what it takes to make this running well.
Now, in sports, it's very easy. You hold up the trophy,
Yeah.
you get the gold medal, and you step on the podium. That picture is clearly defined in sports. Now, in business, it's not always clearly defined. So, we as leaders, it's our responsibility to clarify that. So, clarity of where we're going is one of the most important factors.
That's a strong way to end it, Simon. Clarity, because that's something I'm hearing in manufacturing a lot as well, right? Is that the leader at the top thinks we have clarity, and then we ask questions, we don't quite have it. So, and you break it down like clarity of purpose, why do we exist? Clarity of direction, where are we going? And then clarity of action, what do we need to do right now? If we're clear on those, woo, we're gonna be smoking. We're
Absolutely.
gonna have a good year. Simon, so much to unpack in such a short period of time. And leaders are going to have to read your book, and I'll have some notes on the website. But if they want to learn more and engage with you, Simon, what's the best way for our listeners to engage with you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, Simon Vetter. Love to connect. And also my website, simonvetter.com. And I'm putting out a program called Vision Mastery to really help people be more visionary and using some of those insights for you to enlist commitment and motivation and also drive high performance. So happy to connect.
Well, Simon, manufacturing needs you because this whole aspect of data is important. We know it works, but emotions are still going to be there. Our future generations need us to change. We need to connect more. And thank you for coming on the podcast today, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
All the way
It was
from
great fun.
Switzerland to California over Zoom. Thanks for
Thank you,
connecting, buddy.
Trevor.
Bye-bye.
Great to see you.
Hey folks, appreciate you taking the time to join us today. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone. Haven't subscribed yet? Do it now. Remember, if you want results, the key is increasing your awareness of how you show up.